Somewhere right now, a doctor is prescribing anti-anxiety medication for a mineral deficiency. Somewhere else, someone is being told their heart palpitations are just stress and sent home. And somewhere else, a person has been in physical therapy for 6 months for a muscle cramp that has nothing to do with their muscles at all. Three different people, three different diagnoses, three different doctors, and every single one of them has the exact same problem, one that's estimated to affect nearly half of all adults and almost never gets tested for. By the end of this video, you'll know the 7 signs your body sends out before it fails. And there's a good chance you've felt at least 3 of them this week. Here's the part that should bother you. Magnesium is involved in over 300 processes in your body: your heartbeat, your sleep, your blood sugar, the way your muscles contract and release, even the way your brain produces serotonin, the chemical tied directly to your mood. It is, without exaggeration, one of the most important minerals you can put in your body. And yet, it is not on a standard blood panel. When you go in for routine blood work, your doctor is checking things like sodium, potassium, glucose, cholesterol. Magnesium isn't automatically included. You'd have to specifically request it. And most people don't even know it's a test that exists, which means millions of people are walking around deficient and their blood work looks completely normal. That's the trap. That's why this deficiency hides in plain sight, disguised as a dozen other conditions: anxiety, insomnia, chronic fatigue, even heart disease. So let's break the disguise. Here are the 7 signs, starting with the one you'll dismiss and ending with the one you can't afford to. Sign number 1, the eye twitch. It starts small, almost funny, honestly. A tiny twitch under your eye. It comes out of nowhere. You're just sitting there working, watching TV, and this little muscle starts pulsing on its own. You didn't do anything. It just happens. Most people blame caffeine or stress or not enough sleep. And sometimes that's true, but magnesium is what allows your muscles to relax after they contract. Without enough of it, your nerve cells become overexcited. They keep firing small electrical signals even when you're not asking them to. That twitch isn't random. It's your nervous system misfiring in real time. It's harmless on its own. But it's also the smallest, earliest warning your body sends, which is exactly why almost everyone ignores it. Sign number 2, muscle cramps that won't quit. Next, the 2 a.m. calf cramp. You know the one. It jolts you out of a dead sleep, your muscle locks up like a fist, and for 10 seconds you can't even think straight through the pain. Athletes get told this is a potassium problem. Everyone gets told to eat a banana. But magnesium is actually the mineral responsible for switching muscles off after they contract. Without it, your muscles get stuck in the on position. This is the sign that sends the most people to a doctor, and it's also the one most likely to get misdiagnosed, because it mimics a dozen other issues, from dehydration to nerve compression to simple overuse. Sign number 3, you cannot sleep even when you're exhausted. This is where it stops being an inconvenience and starts being a pattern. You're tired all day. The second you lie down, though, your brain switches on. Racing thoughts, restlessness. You fall asleep eventually, but you wake up feeling like you never slept at all. Magnesium regulates a neurotransmitter called GABA, the chemical responsible for calming your nervous system down and preparing your brain for rest. Low magnesium means low GABA activity, which means your brain simply cannot find the off switch, no matter how tired your body is. This is also the sign most commonly mistaken for a mental health issue. Which brings us to the next one. Sign number 4, anxiety that seems to come from nowhere. This is the one that gets misdiagnosed the most. Not stress about something specific, a general low-grade sense of unease, a racing heart for no reason, a feeling like something's wrong even when nothing is. Remember, magnesium regulates the same calming neurotransmitter, GABA, that's targeted by most anti-anxiety medications. So when magnesium runs low, your brain loses its natural braking system. You end up in a state of chronic, low-level fight or flight without a fight or a flight to point to. Here's the uncomfortable part. Multiple studies have linked low magnesium levels with higher rates of anxiety, and some research has shown that supplementation can meaningfully ease symptoms in people who are deficient. That doesn't mean anxiety is always a magnesium problem. It's not that simple, and this isn't medical advice. But it does mean that for some people, the thing they're medicating that might actually be a mineral their body is begging for. Sign number 5, your heart skips a beat, literally. This is where it stops being annoying and starts being serious. Heart palpitations, that fluttery, skipped beat feeling in your chest that makes you freeze for a second. Most people who experience this go straight to the ER, get an EKG, and are told, "Your heart looks fine, it's probably just stress." And often, it is just stress. But magnesium plays a direct role in regulating your heart's electrical rhythm. It works alongside potassium and calcium to keep your heartbeat steady. When magnesium drops low enough, it can contribute to arrhythmias, irregular heartbeats, and in more severe, prolonged deficiency, it's been linked to a genuinely elevated risk of cardiovascular events. This is the sign where just stress stops being a safe assumption. Sign number 6, brain fog and memory lapses. You walk into a room and forget why. You reread the same sentence 4 times. Words you use every day suddenly feel just out of reach. Magnesium is critical for something called synaptic plasticity, essentially your brain's ability to form and access memories efficiently. Low levels have been associated with reduced cognitive performance and that hazy, disconnected feeling people call brain fog. It's subtle. It's easy to blame on being busy or getting older or just having an off week. But when it's happening constantly, it's worth asking why. Sign number 7, chronic fatigue that sleep doesn't fix. And here's the final sign, the one that ties every other sign together, not "I stayed up too late tired," a deeper exhaustion, the kind where a full 8 hours of sleep still isn't enough, where your body feels heavy before the day has even started. This makes sense once you understand what magnesium actually does at a cellular level. It's required to produce ATP, the literal energy currency your cells run on. Every single cell in your body needs magnesium to convert food into usable energy. So when magnesium runs low, it's not in your head and it's not really about sleep at all. It's your cells running on empty every hour of every day. So here's the question you should be asking. If magnesium is this important, why does this keep slipping through the cracks? 2 reasons. First, like we said, it's not on standard blood work. You have to ask for it specifically, and most people don't know that's an option. Second, and this is the part that matters most, a standard blood test only measures the magnesium floating in your blood, but less than 1% of your body's total magnesium actually lives in your bloodstream. The other 99% is stored inside your cells and bones. That means your body will pull magnesium out of your bones and tissues to keep your blood levels looking normal, right up until the deficiency is severe. You can be significantly functionally low on magnesium and still test fine on paper. Which is exactly why these 7 signs matter more than the test itself. Your body is telling you before the blood work ever will. So why are so many people low in the first place? A few reasons, and they're more common than you'd think. Modern soil is significantly more depleted of minerals than it was 50 years ago, meaning fruits and vegetables simply contain less magnesium than they used to. Chronic stress burns through magnesium faster than your body can replace it. Caffeine and alcohol both increase how much magnesium you excrete. And certain common medications, including some for acid reflux and blood pressure, can lower your levels over time without anyone telling you. Put simply, modern life is a near-perfect setup for deficiency. If any of these 7 signs sounded familiar, the twitch, the cramps, the sleepless nights, the unexplained anxiety, the racing heart, the fog, the fatigue that won't lift, the next step isn't to panic. It's to ask your doctor for a magnesium test by name and to talk to them about whether your diet or your symptoms warrant a closer look. Your body has been trying to tell you something. Most people just never learned how to listen.